Equivalent trigonometric expressions. In these set of videos, we are trying to understand how to write sine in terms of cosine, how to write cosine in terms of sine, and how to write these trigonometric ratios in terms of other angles, right? So related angles, correlated angles, and cofunction identities are the things which we are going to consider in these set of videos. The very first one is a very basic question. Question 1. Explain how can you write sine as a cosine function and cosine as a sine function. Okay. So to answer this question, let's look into both the graphs, graph of sine and cosine, and figure out how they are related. Correct. So let's say we'll draw here one graph, and let this be of sine, and then here another graph of cosine function. Correct. Sine function we normally draw like this. We said this is the sine function, right? Let me just extend this a bit more. Okay, and cosine function we draw kind of like this. So let me extend this a bit more here so that we see all the relations. So now you see this and this kind of related, right? So we'll just label this. This is 0, that is pi, and that is 2 pi, correct? And of course this becomes pi by 2. And this is 3 pi by 2. Similarly here, this is 0, this is pi by 2. This is pi here, 3 pi by 2, and that ends at 2 pi. So we've just drawn one wave here, correct? So let me write theta here and y equals to cos theta. Similarly here I have theta, and here y is equals to sine theta. So this is the graph of sine, and that is the graph of cosine theta, correct? You can see they are very similar, right? Very similar. The only thing here is that's kind of shifted, and we'll take advantage of this shift to write equation of cosine in terms of sine and sine in terms of cosine. So that is how we are going to do it, right? So I'll do one of them for you. For example, this one. So we have the equation y equals to cos theta. Now we have to write this as a sine function. If we consider the sine function, then we will say, well, if I have to write a sine function, that means sine function has started much earlier, right? It started pi by 2 before, correct? And therefore, I could write this as sine of theta plus pi by 2. Do you see that? So sine theta plus pi by 2 is same as cos theta, correct? So that is how we can relate them. Now let's get back to this one. I hope you understand that. Clear, right? It's this function, sine function, starts pi by 2 before, right? So shift left by pi by 2. So that is the phase shift. Now here the function given to us is y equals to sine theta. If I have to consider this as a cos function, then actually speaking, cos is starting later, right? Cos is starting later by pi by 2, and therefore I should write this as cos of theta minus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 indicates that the cos graph has actually shifted pi by 2 units to the right, right? So that is how sine and cosine are related. So this is very important to understand here, and I hope this will help you to do following questions. Thank you.